Hey guys, welcome to the Desi Investor. Hope you're doing well. Salam, namaste, sat sri akal. Hope you're all doing well in this crazy world that we're all living in. We're going to be going through a few things on this channel. It's my first episode, so I hope you guys can gather some support for me. I started this journey about 3, 4 years ago, where I started looking into all things finance related to the crazy world that we're living in. And in some cases, I was right to do so. But on this channel, we're going to be looking at some news that's going on geopolitically, looking at the crypto market, and looking at what the conventional markets are doing, and generally just seeing what's going on and some alternative media, really, some alternative news. But we like to get a gist of what the BBC is banging on about and see if there's anything of any interest or giving us the heads up. So I'm going to jump right in today. We're going to jump right into this and we're going to have a look at what the BBC is pushing to us. So we can see here that the recession obviously is a big part all over the news at the moment. We're obviously in a leadership run as well, battle bid from both Liz Truss and Rishi Sunak. I mean, looking at both of those two individuals, neither one is really going to be good for us, Joe Public. And I wish us all the best of luck with whoever comes in. But from the looks of it, they're going to want to push someone who's and when I say them, I mean the global elite. They want to push somebody who's in alliance with their thoughts, and that mainly is Liz Truss. I'm a bit conflicted on this because obviously Rishi Sunak is somebody who's very charismatic and able to put his case across very well. But I think it's anyone's guess at the moment. And also, it would be the first Asian prime minister, which obviously, I should be supporting. But I'm not really sure that that is the case. But out of the two, I'd probably go with Rishi Sunak because I think Liz Truss is a warmonger. So just moving on through some of the news articles here on BBC and what they're pushing to us. The recession. It's scary. To be honest, I predicted it 2 years ago when we were in the pandemic and the pandemic started, and I think there were cases then to say that this was just going to be a downhill slope from there. The amount of borrowing that was done at the time, it was just totally unsustainable. Interest rates have been at record levels, low levels for years. But I think they're going to go up, and that affects everything. It affects house prices, loans, mortgage rates, everything gets impacted. And the question is, who's going to be buying or taking mortgages out at 10, 15% interest rates? It's going to become very inaffordable for households, and teamed up with the cost of living. I really can't see a way of this easing up. But how's it affecting us? Let's see what the BBC has to say. Increasing tax and interest rates makes no sense, Quarter. Well, he's right. Well, no, he's wrong because they have to increase interest rates, but the interest rates are gonna, if they increase it, it's gonna just blow up the system. If interest rates go to where they did in the 70s, then I think there's going to be a problem. The housing market will take a big slump, and there's going to be a problem for people who are remortgaging in the near future. So this is a problem, guys. I can't see this getting better for us investors out there, for us regular Joe Public. It's not looking good. So let's move on. But there are ways of protecting yourself. You know, there are ways of making sure that you can get through this recession. Um, you know, there are ways and things of hedging against all of these things, and we'll talk a little bit about that as we go through. So let's just go and see what other headlines they're pushing. So, bank defends rate hikes ahead of looming recession. Well, they have to. I mean, I watched Andrew Bailey's speech yesterday, and it was basically saying it's all to do with the energy price fueled by Russia. Pardon the pun. Um, and that's not the case. It's more to do with the endless borrowing that that they've done, and Liz Truss wants to do more of that. So I think if she gets in, it's just going to get worse. But I can't say honestly that Rishi Sunak is going to do a much better job. This 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 article here. I mean, we totally feel for the family, and hope they can uh, get some justice or some peace for that situation. Moving on, Rishi Sunak. I took money out of deprived urban areas. Just a mm, just a media story, just anti Rishi Sunak, which I'm getting a lot of from the media, from the mainstream. Israel attacks Gaza targets after militant threat. Well, whilst everybody's wondering what's going on in the world financially and suffering financially, Gaza's still got its problems, and there needs to be some justice there. But Israel don't seem to be um, don't seem to be getting it right in that area. But I don't want this channel to get blocked, and therefore I won't delve too much into that. We've got hosepipe bans in the UK, starting from today, 5 p.m. Meaning you can't use your hosepipe if you want to water your lawn. It's not affecting businesses yet, as far as I'm aware, but I think they're going to be asking businesses to do so as well. It's not affecting our water supply, i.e., our drinking water, but certainly they don't want people to be washing their cars and watering their lawns. Um, I watched somebody today from the water department on the news, and they were saying that the question was how are they going to enforce it, and it was the case very much similar to when we were in the pandemic, about parties and things like that, and it's going to be self-regulation and self-certify, where neighbours will be monitoring each other, which again doesn't create a good neighbourhood. Talk about neighbourhood watch, but yeah. So yeah, let's keep an eye on that. We all need to have our drinking water safe and secure. Again, just more rhetoric regarding the recession. We're definitely going into a recession. I called for it a while ago. 2 years ago, I made a video where I documented all my thoughts, because I honestly thought nobody would believe what I was saying at the time, and it did seem quite absurd. But at the time, we were just at the start of the pandemic, and I remember the Treasury saying that we're going to have borrowing infinity. So there was no way that we were already in a bad situation. For it was the economy, the world economy, geopolitical tensions were also very very tense, mixed in with a war in Russia, which again is quite orchestrated. And now we've got a rhetoric which is pushing for Taiwan and China. But again, this is all the shift from the United States as the ruling power in the world, and there's going to be a huge transition coming soon for everybody. but these are just the symptoms that are starting to show now. I said 2 years ago that those with lots of debt are going to be really suffering. And the worst thing that they did was to introduce the furlough scheme and the bounce back loans, which put businesses more further in debt whilst the pandemic. And there's been a lot of fraud indicated in that as well, which the Treasury is trying to recoup. But mainly, it's a bit of a shit show. I knew it when they were offering loans of up to £50,000, to prop up businesses. So this was just an instance of more helicopter money, helicopter drops, which is what we're heading towards, which is a universal base income. We're starting to see more and more of that, and eventually UBI will be in place, which is what they want. So this is the society that we're living in, which is what we're heading for, which means more control of the society, which is not nice for us, which means we're going to lose parts of our freedom. So moving on, let's have a look at the crypto market, which has been quite buoyant today. And over the last 24 hours, we can see we've had some gainers and we've had some, well, mainly it's been very, very buoyant, to be honest. It's been very powerful, some of the moves that have been made. Ethereum has seen a nice 5.5% move in the last 24 hours. BNB's seen a nice rise there. XRP staying steady. Now, what you don't know is, obviously this being my first channel, I'm a big supporter of XRP. I think it's got a great use case in the world. I think some of the partnerships that have been developed and some of the use cases for it are just outstanding. And it's not something that I've seen before. I've been invested for a few years now, and I really do believe that it's the future of money. And I do believe that there are certain things that are happening at the moment in the world which are leading to XRP becoming the neutral bridge asset in the world. We've got regulation which is going through at the moment, which is a big thing. Regulation is all that the crypto market is missing. Once we get that regulation, we're off to the races, and I think we've already seen tests of that. But XRP is really quite a special token tied up with some of the other assets in here, which are part of the new financial system. It's very, very important to understand where we are heading. There's so many things going on at the moment in the world, but this is all transitioning to certain things that are being dictated by certain organizations: the World Economic Forum, the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, the Bank of England. The Bank for International Settlements is the main orchestrator, who is pushing for this new financial system, which doesn't involve cash. And one of the largest things that is to come out of this is that we're going to be moving away from the United States as the ruling state of the world. So, guys, you need to wake up. You need to understand what's happening in the world. It's not just, those people that are watching, TV at night and just watching daytime TV, not wondering what's going on and just trying to, wondering what's going on and just can't make heads or tail of it. The fact is, they are changing things. There is a big rug pull coming, which is the death of the US dollar, which is actually the largest Ponzi scheme in the history of mankind. So there will come a time, there's going to be some very scary things and times that are coming up. 15% interest rate, inflation at hyperinflation. This is all stemming from the bad financial decisions that have been made in the past. Do we want our children to pick up the tab for this? No. So what can you do to protect yourself from these things? Well, what I would suggest is you invest yourself in intrinsic value, things that have real value. Now, I would say that investing in real estate and the property market is probably going to be a bit late at the moment. However, bricks and mortar, always a good investment, but we are in a housing bubble, have been for a while. House prices are at ridiculous levels. They have to drop. There is no way that these prices are going to be sustained, especially if we reach 15%, 17% interest rates, which is where we were at in the 70s. So those born after those times, you've never seen anything like that. We've only seen low interest rates, so low, mortgages, low interest rate mortgages, low interest rate loans. Things are going up. Get ready to start paying through your nose, guys, unless you are hedged with cryptocurrencies and precious metals. They are the main assets that I would say are going to protect you, mainly gold and especially XRP. XRP, I believe, is going to be used as a neutral bridge asset to bridge all assets in this new financial system. There will be others. I'm not going to say that it's only XRP, but the level of volume that is going to run through the XRP ledger, through all of the partnerships and the organizations that have been formed by XRP and Ripple the company, well, the writing is on the wall. You've got Rosie Rios, who says that the train has already left the station. It's very, very exciting. Now, there will be other assets that are going to do well, but mainly there's a few things that are coming by the end of this year, which are going to propel the crypto market. So, do you not want to be part of that? Make sure you're positioned well. There are assets that are going to do well. Obviously, I haven't got a crystal ball, but I predict that the ISO coins, which is the ISO 20022, which goes live in November of 2022, unless they move that forward again, like they have done. But I believe that early adopting banks are already adopting it from August of this year, and all banks need to adopt the new messaging system by 2025. So it brings me to a comment that I remember that was made by Christine Lagarde, which was regarding if banks aren't cannibalized, they're going to be left behind. It was a very strong speech that she made, or a comment that she made. So get yourself invested in XRP, Desi boys and girls. You need to get yourselves invested in this. This is going to be the future, and then currently it's at 37 cents. It's going to go a lot higher than this. This asset class, this asset, especially XRP, is highly undervalued. Okay, the ISO assets, which doesn't necessarily mean the coins, but certainly the companies and the protocols are ISO 20022 compliant, meaning they will have, and banks will have access to those assets, which is XRP, XDC, XLM, IOTA, Algorand, and they are the ones that I am aware of. So that's the prices at the moment, guys, and let's go on to Cointelegraph and see what's going on there, guys. All right, so some exciting stuff going on in the crypto market, guys. Very exciting. Okay, Bitcoin has had quite a nice little pump over the last 24 hours. It's gained 4.6%, but they're saying it's very mixed outlook. Oh, Solana got hacked. Yeah. Well, guys, XRP, Ripple ledger, XRP ledger has never been hacked. I don't want to jinx that, but it has never been hacked. It's never had any problems. Solana seems like to me is having lots of problems, and really, I'm not sure it's going to survive. Guys, we're in a time in history here which is where we were in the dot-com bubble, guys. It was this morning, I was having a conversation with my partner, and I was explaining to her, which is the reason why I wanted to come and set up this channel, was because whenever I talk to my missus, it's like she's staring right through me. But it was almost as if it was somebody back in the 90s, early 80s, explaining personal computers and what they were going to do for humanity, and what they were going to do for the world, and how it was going to change the world. And that's what it felt like today, what I was explaining, XRP and the Ripple case, which is a big lie. The Ripple case is leading to regulation. And it's going to be very exciting to see what comes out of this. The SEC is obviously dragging their heels, but most definitely XRP is, and Ripple, the company, is looking very, very positive. And what the judge is looking as if she is going to be siding with the Ripple team. So get yourself invested in Ripple, the company. It's going to grow massively over the next decade or two. Same thing that Amazon did. I've known this since 2020, April of 2020, when I started delving in a little bit more. My journey started with investing in gold, and gold equities, mining stocks, and silver stocks, and silver, which again is another thing which is going to have intrinsic value in the future. A lot of these systems and protocols and these new currencies that we're going to be moving towards is going to be backed by commodities. Okay, so why wouldn't you want to be holding gold and silver? Silver has got huge use cases, functionally and as a store of value. So as gold, if Bitcoin, which is a digital asset, is trading, has traded at $40,000, are you telling me that gold shouldn't be trading around? It's just been manipulated for years and years. They don't want you owning gold. What are they doing? Central banks are owning gold, buying gold for the last 2 decades. So get your house in check, guys. Get your ducks in a row. Invest in gold and silver, precious metals. Invest in crypto assets, mainly XRP, XLM, XDC, Algorand, IOTA. These are the assets that are going to be part of the new financial system. They are going to be transacting trillions of dollars, or whatever the measure of medium is going to be. It could be rubles, could be the China currency. We don't know yet, but certainly this is the death of the US dollar and the petrodollar. Okay, so let's move through some more of the crypto news, guys. My Desi investors. So I saw here somewhere that Binance has introduced XRP as yeah, here we go. Binance Card users now have access to XRP, SHIB, and AVAX. Well, that's very interesting, guys. XRP is going to be used, like this. Your banks are going to be offering you. My prediction here, guys, is that the bank is going to be offering you their own stable coins, or they're going to be issuing their own stable coins on the XRP. Get my teeth in the XRP ledger. You heard it here. Remember this. Barclays Bank are going to be issuing a stable coin on the XRP ledger, or maybe one of the other major banks here in the United Kingdom. My Desi friends, they are going to be issuing a stable coin, and then you will be able to, they will then have a Visa card. We already know there's partnerships with Visa, MasterCard. There's lots of interesting partnerships and connections already tying XRP and Ripple with the new financial system. So, I'm holding on to my bag, and I'm going to be making sure that, at some point in the future, that I'm going to be my bank will be offering me, interest, just like they do for, holding cash on my XRP and my digital assets. They're going to be offering custodianship, wallets. Banks are going to be getting involved very, very soon. The United Kingdom has already got very strong crypto regulation, and they want to push more and more towards the crypto sphere. And that is something that is very exciting. I don't know to what end those libertarians will say, well, it's not true libertarianism, but if you can't beat them, join them. That's my motto. So, guys, let's move forward. Bear market, yeah, the bear market's been killing us all, hasn't it, guys? The worst place to keep your crypto wallet seed phrases. Well, guys, that's another thing. Make sure when you're investing, you're holding these on cold storage wallets. You're not holding them on exchanges, guys. We've already got SEC, which is going after the exchanges. Get your crypto off the exchanges. Do not hold anything on exchanges. Have them in cold storages and protect your seed phrases. So, very, very important is security and making sure that you're on top of that, guys. Now, Solana, we spoke a little bit about, has had a hack, which is not great for the network, not great for the crypto community, but it is what it is. And again, just reinstates, the fact that the XRP ledger hasn't had these problems for as long as I've been invested. And it looks very, very stable. And I think it has to be in order to be part of that new financial system, where it's going to be interoperating with lots and lots of protocols and other businesses and enterprises, which is what Ripple is for, guys. It's not for you and me. It's not for retail. And, recently we've had the Ripple buyback, which basically means that they're going to be buying Ripple off the secondary market and draining the exchanges of XRP that's out there, so that they can further help and fund the ODL corridors, which is seeing volumes, record level volumes, guys. So, I think it's really exciting to see that come to fruition. I'm watching this every step of the way, and in terms of price, it's not being reflected in price at the moment, guys. But the minute we see some sort of financial uh, regulation, or we see some sort of clarity or a settlement in the case, which will be good news for the entire crypto market, guys. We're going to see some price action. So get yourself invested, not just in the crypto market. Start to hedge yourself against inflation, against these high interest rates, guys. All right, my Desi investors, I'm going to love you and leave you on that one. But thank you very much for watching my show today, guys. It's the first show of hopefully many more. Please subscribe, share, like. It's something that I'm going to be delving into more and more now. I want to try and give you as much insight into what is coming over the next couple of years, and give you the heads up so that you can prepare and plan. It's very, very important to position yourself, put your ducks in a row, and make sure that you are fighting against this transition. You want to be on the right side of it, guys. I knew this couple of years ago. I'm going to be uploading the video that I made 2 years ago at the start of the pandemic, where I made some predictions and some claims which seem to have all come true. Well, 90% of them have come true. It's taken some time. There's been some lag, but one of the things that I said was that those that have lots of debt are going to are going to suffer. We're going to have a huge liquidity crisis, and it looks as if that is where we're heading, guys. So thank you for watching, and until next time, namaste, salam, sasri